context of what we do after lenalidomide has failed a patient, what options do we have? Well, the very good news is we have multiple options. And most importantly, we have high-level evidence to support them. It's important to recognize that previous phase 3 studies in relapsed refractory disease often use lenalidomide as a control arm. And so therefore, the exposure of lenalidomide in the study groups was minimal. In fact, excluded in many cases. So now, with lenalidomide being a standard of care for both upfront and maintenance, we have to embrace and understand how to respond to lenalidomide failure. So in patients in whom lenalidomide has failed them, we then think of pomalidomide as an ideal platform. And why? Because the level of evidence for it is so good now. We published this year the phase 3 randomized trial, OPTIMISMM, which was a real-world study looking at pomalidomide, bortezomib, dexamethasone versus the control group of bortezomib and dexamethasone for PFS, OS, and all the usual secondary endpoints. And in a nutshell, we were able to demonstrate substantial PFS benefit, not only for the trial overall by intent to treat, but most importantly, in the first relapse group, we saw a striking PFS benefit exceeding 20 months median for patients who were lenalidomide exposed. And then if we looked at specifically the lenalidomide refractory group in that population, we saw that PFS gain was sustained, approaching 18 months. So clearly, the use of the 3-drug platform is a powerful option to have in that setting, and pomalidomide should be the backbone. Beyond pomalidomide, I think it's very important to note that there are multiple other options that can be rationally combined. We have now daratumumab data supporting the use of dara when pomalidomide is needed. We also importantly have excellent data integrating carfilzomib into this platform. And especially for patients who are fit and well and don't have underlying cardiovascular risk, that to me anyway is a very important important choice, I beg your pardon, especially in patients with high-risk disease. I think one of the most exciting pieces of data that we've had at this meeting, and also previously, both at ASCO and EHA this year, have been the results of the ICARIA trial. And this particular trial looked at the combination of pomalidomide with the new CD38 antibody isatuximab, and showed here striking clinical benefit in favor of isatuximab, pomalidomide, and dex compared to pomalidomide and dex alone. And what was very interesting was to see its benefit in the high-risk population and also in the frailer and elderly population. This was very much a real-world study and provided us, by virtue of that, a wealth of information.